Starting with, you guessed it, your AEW WrestleDream 2025 review. Starting with FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler defeat Jet Speed's people Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight to start the show. And by the way, before we get into this match to start the show, we start basically from the buy-in, meaning the pre-show, the tailgate brawl, whatever they call it now for AEW, the pre-show. It got into this show, or his pay-per-view, already with the match underway. What is with the production problems in All Elite Wrestling, man? What kind of freaking logic is that, bro? Like, are you freaking kidding me? You decide to go into this show, or his pay-per-view, you want to fucking name it. Already, after the buy-in, or whatever they fucking, the tailgate brawl, what the fuck they're calling it right now, I don't fucking give a shit. They're starting with that. Already a match in following the pre-show. That just makes no fucking sense. It was like a couple minutes involved with the match too. So much so I couldn't even care for the match because the production stuff sucks in AEW. It just fucking does. It just really does. It sucks, man. The production team sucks in All Elite Wrestling. It just goes to show how many fucking problems we got this show. And just with that, just my friends, it's a big fat sick. Been a hot minute since the over-exaggerated stuff like that, to say the least. What are you? And the match itself wasn't even fucking groundbreaking of a classic. You're starting your show with this? They're pay-per-view. Like I always tell you people, before I went on the little break for the podcast, I always tell you always sets the tone later in the night, whether it's a match-wise or second-wise on television shows. You don't start off with shit like FTR and Jet Speed, dude. You just don't. This is a pre-show match at best, or a weekly television show match at best. And it's taking place on pay-per-view. You gotta pay $50 fucking to watch FTR versus Jet Speed. No, not just for that, but you get the gist, honestly. The context around it, obviously. This gets a big fat C, like I said, man. Nothing memorable at all in this match at all. Moving on to Jamie Hayter, one of my personal favorites in women's professional wrestlers, Miss Jamie Hayter. I love Jamie Hayter a lot. She defeats Tekla. This gets a B-. A little bit better in the opening match, but still not by much. You start off your pay-per-view. You're paying $50 fucking with Jet Speed and FTR and Jamie Hayter and Tekla. I'll be honest though, there was 3 women's matches on AEW per pay-per-view this past Saturday night. I'll be honest, I actually love that kind of, if you're putting 10, 20 matches on the show, which I don't prefer at all if you ask me, but if you're putting these 10 matches, cards, whatever you name it, 3 women's matches is actually pretty good for All Elite Wrestling. I thought I was watching NXT for a minute though. But still, I didn't care for the match though. The match is just whatever, but at least Tony Khan put the effort for women's wrestling on his show at least a little bit. One say he looks like I'm praising like he's God screen Earth is like a classic AEW pay-per-view. This did nothing for me this match, but at least they put effort when the women's wrestling on the show was past Saturday night. It just gets a B-, dude. I love Jamie Hayter, and Tekla is growing on me a little bit, but still nothing memorable happened in this match. And this is a build for blood and guts, man. Blood and guts with the women's stuff for blood and guts this year. The first out of blood and guts for women's wrestling. Sorry if you're a dog barking, by the way. I'm sorry. My friend has a dog. I'm sorry, people. I can't control it, to say the least. But to say the least, seriously, who cares about this? I couldn't seriously care. Really could not care whatsoever. But this gets a B- to say the least. Moving on to Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, he's not just Jungle Boy now, back to Jungle Boy days. And Luchasaurus defeat the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson to win $500,000. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? $500,000 for this match? Are you freaking kidding me? What's with the fucking Tony Khan with money involved for professional wrestling for AEW involved? We don't fucking give a shit. Give me a reason to care about a tag team match like this. With some sort of story now, not fighting for fucking money. Really? What are we, Jeopardy here? What are we, Jeopardy or whatever these game shows host, like Family Feuds, like game shows like that. I'd rather watch that stuff or fight for freaking money, am I right? This gets a B. The match was freaking very good if you ask me. But why do you bring money involved, dude? What are we doing here, Tony Khan? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Nothing. The match is good. Of course, it's a Jurassic Express and Young Bucks. It's a freaking two great tag teams. But did you make me care about this other than that? No. That's why it gets a B. That's why it gets a B, man. That's why it gets a B. Moving on to the Hurt Syndicate. One more fucking filler on their show, by the way, or pay-per-view. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, MVP defeated the Demand of Ricochet and the Gates of Agony in a trios tornado match. A big fat Sis, you're great. I don't give a flying fuck. Oh, man. Seriously, how did you supposed to make me care? How can you possibly make me care about this? Generally ask, I'm trying to care. But I can't care with 6 people flying around the freaking ring, and at least it's a tornado match. At least Tony Khan make this a tornado match, at least, or every other trios match. Or 8-man, 10-man, 20-man tag, the stuff Tony Khan does. At least to me it's tornado, at least it was somewhat more sellable to a point. But so, I don't care for 6-man tags anyways, man. I am done with them. I'm done with trios matches. I'm tired of 8-man tags. I'm tired of 10-man tags. I'm tired of 12-man tags. You fucking name it. I am done with them, man. And just, it didn't make me care. It didn't make me care. How are you supposed to make me care about 6 men that I like the Hurt Syndicate, but I don't fucking care for Ricochet and the Gates of Agony? What the fuck is this demand bullshit? What are we doing here? Don't fucking care to say. It's a big fat C. Moving on to Kyle Fletcher, the reigning defending AEW TNT champion. Defeats Mark Briscoe to retain said AEW TNT championship. I got this one question. This major logic gap here from Tony Khan. Bro, I believe it was the last pay-per-view was All Out? Didn't Mark Briscoe defeat MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, to potentially go for a world championship? Potentially, at least. He defeated a former AEW world champion. You would think he would challenge Hangman Page for this show for the AEW world championship. You know, what does this man do? He goes and fights for the TNT championship. How the fuck does that make any sense? How the fuck does that make any sense? I'm genuinely asking. That just makes no freaking sense, man. It really doesn't. And the logic, the match is really good. Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe are great professional wrestlers. How are you going to make me care? How are you going to make me care here, Tony Khan? Other than great matches, Tony Khan can put out great matches in his fucking sleep, dude. He booked great matches with great professional wrestlers, you name it. That's what not fucking AEW should be for. But it's AEW with the best wrestle. How fucking boring does that sound? It's like the WCW where the big boys play. How fucking boring is that too? But this gets a B. This gets a B. This gets a B. It rhymes with bitch, I know, right? This gets a B. I don't fucking care. I don't care. It was a good match. What else can we say other than that? Maybe be generous, give us a B. Moving on, shall we? The Chris Statlander, the reigning defending AEW Women's World Champion, defeats Timeless Tony Storm to retain the said AEW Women's World Championship. And after the match, Mercedes Moné, the reigning defending 12 belts now, Moné, may mind you. Mercedes Moné came out and ordered Statlander to leave the ring. Basically kind of bullied Statlander out of the ring, but Statlander made it, but it came out later on in the next match with Mercedes. But the match itself was freaking okay. It was very good, if you ask me. And I'm glad Statlander won. I saw this. I'm much of a fan towards Mercedes Monday. You know how much I love that girl. I love Statlander too. But I have this weird feeling that Mercedes Monday is going to win the AEW Women's World Championship at Full Gear. Which, by the way, that match is, I believe, it's confirmed yet, but it'll probably confirmed by this week on Dynamite, probably. If it wasn't already. Mercedes is actually challenging for the World Championship for now All Elite Wrestling. Yet again found her loss against Toni Storm at All in Texas this year. Now, is she calling 13 belts Monday now? She holds the record already. We get 11 when she beat next match we get into a minute. We'll discuss that in a minute. We also got to tell afterwards after beating Mia Shirakawa. Spoiler, that's the match she was facing here on WrestleDream. Like, seriously, dude. I love Mercedes. How much I love her. I'm a fan towards the bell collector gimmick. I actually like it on it. I love it, actually. It might be a popular opinion to some people. But my question is, how many matches are you going to go to? Like, what, 21? She made a joke, I believe, on Twitter, which a fan asked her, like, well, how many champions are you going to go for? And she said 21. I kind of laughed at it because my age, too, like, 21. I was kind of laughing at that comment. Because I'm 21 years old. By all means, go for 21 titles, man. This would be as much as my age. Be kind of interesting, yes, man. But I'm never put that in the universe, would you please? For Mercedes Monday haters, so I go fucking ballistic online for that one. Like, try to trump down my throat, much to do to Mercedes, man. But I will do that. But the match itself with Statlander and Toni Storm, it was good. Not the best, I think, out of these two women. At least Statlander won this match here. I gave it a B. Nothing else to say other than that. I'll discuss more than my opinions on Mercedes when I'm going for the AEW Women's World Championship in the next match right here. Obviously, Mercedes Monday, the reign defend 12 belts now Monday now. She defeats Mia Shirakawa to retain the AEW TBS Championship and win the interim ROH Women's Television Championship in a title versus title match. And after the match, Chris Statlander returns to the ring to attack Monday. Not as good as the other women's match on the show with Statlander and Storm. I get a B-. But to think there's 3 women's matches on AEW pay-per-view is a fucking miracle in itself, man. Who would have thought that stuff when the first company first introduced in 2019? Who would have thought that would ever happen? But my more opinions on the Mercedes Monday going after the World Championship for All Elite Wrestling at Full Gear. If she wins it, I don't know if that'd be wise. I don't think that should be needed. I don't mind the titles outside of AEW minus the TBS title. But once you get to the world title for AEW and then the TBS title, 2 only women's singles titles in the company, that's where I get a little bit of that's where I get a problem with. I love Mercedes. I love the belt collector gimmick she's possessing. But where's the end goal here? Is she just going to collect titles and just to collect titles and she lose these titles over time? Like, she only lost like 1 title. She didn't get pinned to lose this championship, the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. She once had that for one of her titles, but she lost it. And she didn't even get pinned for that one. What is she mean, a triple threat match? And one challenger supposed to take a pinfall with another challenger? That'd be fucking stupid. What makes you think? What was the point of putting the title on her if she's not going to take a pinfall to lose the title? And no, I'm not blaming the creative control bullshit I'm seeing online all the fucking time. I'm blaming for the sake of the bookers, man. I blame Mercedes for a tad bit, just a little bit. But I don't like all my ways to just hate this woman. So I say, oh, creative control money, Mercedes Hogan, Mercedes Omega, or Mercedes Reigns, what the fuck they want to call her. Mercedes Ultimate Dragon on Monday. I don't fucking care, bro. You name it. What's the end goal, though? That's my question. We need a storyline attached with this, too. Like, just collecting titles for the sake of collecting titles. I don't mind it from the gimmick standpoint. I like the gimmick she's possessing online with these haters online. I actually quite like it. It fits the character. I get that. That's not the problem I have. I like the gimmick. It's just, what are we doing with the gimmick to develop a storyline? What are we doing with that? That's my problem I have. And that comes on Mercedes stuff. That comes on Tony Khan. If you blame Mercedes, you may as well blame every other wrestler that's not involved in a good storyline right now. Like, you would blame, I don't know, give me a name here. Like, you blame, like, Hangman Adam Page. You can blame him for him not being a world title feud right now. It's meaningful, minus MJF. No, you're going to blame Tony Khan. That's what I'm saying here. You don't blame Hangman. You don't blame Mercedes. You blame Tony Khan and the creative writers involved in All Elite Wrestling. A lack thereof, if you ask me. But the match here at Mino was not the best. I prefer a match a couple months ago they had on Dynamite, but just a TBS sub. I prefer that match more than this match. But this gets a B minus. I just didn't care honestly on that. But please, I speak this as a Mercedes Moné fanatic myself. Statler needs to beat Mercedes at Full Gear. Do I see it happening? I don't, just say the least. But this gets a B minus. What do you want me else to say other than that? Moving on to the rest of the show. Bandito, and Brody King defeat Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita to retain the AEW World Tag Team Championships. This gets an A minus. A very fun match if you ask me. Nothing like blow away like classic stuff. I mean, it was actually a very good tag team match if you ask me. I love been growing a lot on Brody. It's probably the best match up to this point. Probably the best match in the whole pay-per-view. Obviously, because Brody and Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada. I mean, come on, man. It's a fucking great tag team match on paper. But this is a fun match. This is a very fun match if you ask me. I would have liked to see there's still developments in the storyline of potentially Konosuke Takeshita going babyface and one way from the Don Callis family. By all means, I fucking love that. There's already like 20 different Don Callis family members involved in that faction. Not including Andrade El Idolo, who obviously debuted in AEW, and now is obviously out for probably a whole year now, because of stuff he did in WWE, and competing, not even realizing he had no non-compete clause for WWE. That was kind of laughable. That was kind of a laughable story if you ask me, what the dirt chases last week, to say the least. That was kind of laughable if you ask me. But Brody would defeat Okada and Takeshita to retain the AEW World Tag Team titles. Probably the best match up to this point. Probably the best match in the whole pay-per-view. Definitely, if you ask me. So it gave us an A minus to say the least. Moving on to Hangman and Adam Page. Almost done with this fucking card, man. I'm almost 17.5 minutes on this podcast with the sales segment in general. Hangman Adam Page defeats Samoa Joe to retain the said AEW World Championship. And after the match, the Yops were calling to show respect to Hangman until the Yops took out Hangman to finish off the segment. I don't know if the guys, the Ops are turning heel. I believe that they are, honestly. What are you going to do? You're going to have Samoa Joe potentially go back to the World title and be a face Hangman, give me a full gear. And then he gives the respects to Hangman. Or is he going full out heel with the Ops? I don't fucking know. Waiting for his way to watch time for that to be more possessive with that to say at least. But it gave us a B+. First, it was a fun match. I like this match quite a bit, Samoa Joe and Hangman on Page. Obviously, it's two great professional wrestlers. I heard rumors about Samoa Joe potentially having retirement next year in 2026. Everybody's fucking retiring, man. You got John Cena retiring the end of this year. You got AJ Styles retiring next year in 2026. Samoa Joe probably retiring in 2026 as well. It's been a fucking bizarre year, man. It'll be a fucking interesting year next year in 2026. So I might as well John Cena. I don't know if those two men are going to Styles. Definitely Styles, I would think, will probably go on a retirement tour. I don't think Samoa Joe will go on a retirement tour. But something like that would be interesting to say, like for Styles and Samoa Joe next year. But so I like this match quite a bit. Hangman's always great. You must get out of Hangman. You know I agree. I'll get out of Samoa Joe too. And it should be semi-interesting. Nothing's been great with this Hangman World title run ever since the match he had at Forbidden Door against MJF. Alright, yeah, that's nothing all I can give you. That's all I can give you this World title run. It's semi-interesting. And this man had to do an open challenge for Lee fucking Moriarty because he was in Pittsburgh on Dynamite a couple weeks ago. Just fucking bizarre if you ask me. But this gets a B+, a very good match if you ask me. Moving on to Darby Allin and your main event. He defeats Jon Moxley in the main event in an I Quit match. This gets a big fat C. I did not give a flying shit about this match. And this match is not even that good. This is probably one of the most boring and fucking formulaic I Quit matches I've seen professional wrestling ever. This was fucking boring. And this is main event your pay-per-view almost to midnight. Or was it 11 o'clock? Something or another. 11 o'clock, 12 p.m., 12 a.m. in the morning, doesn't fucking matter. Late nights to say the least, you must stay up to watch Darby Allin and John Moxley put up a fucking dud of an I Quit match. It was boring. It was freaking boring, if you ask me. I couldn't care. I couldn't fucking care. This was fucking boring beyond boring can be. And even the finish was boring. Well, yeah, but Darby Allin and a freaking sharpshooter, wannabe sharpshooter, what the fuck you want to call it. And then Moxley goes, I quit. Are you fucking kidding me? That was fucking boring beyond boring can be for an I Quit match. And then you got Sting involved with this. Like, who? This was boring. How are you supposed to make me care about this? I didn't even care about the story Darby and Moxley were telling. I didn't even care. I didn't even care for that either. And the match itself was fucking boring. The coffin match was boring, and the I Quit match was even more boring to say the least. And this is main event your pay-per-view. Let's get to Big Fat C. Big Fat C's are great. Grateful it's not lower. As your overall pay-per-view for AEW WrestleDream 2025 gets a B-. Now that's your AEW WrestleDream 2025 review. Now let's get started with your WWE Monday Night Raw October 21st, 2025 review on the podcast. And finally, everybody, your WWE Monday Night Raw October 21st, 2025 review. Starting Raw, General Manager Adam Pearce took to the square circle to announce an update on Seth Rollins' injury when Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman interrupted. Pearce revealed that Rollins is fresh out of major surgery and will miss a considerable amount of time. He announced that he is removing the World Heavyweight Championship from Rollins, and a Battle Royal would be later confirmed to show in the main event to determine who will face CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event on November 1st of 2025. Pearce ordered Breaker to hand over the world title, to which the badass responded, "What if I don't?" Me and Braun Breaker not wanting to give the championship back to Pearce. After some establishment of dominance by Breaker, including demanding Pearce to say please in return for the world title, Pearce received the belt. Hangman. It's so much of WrestleDream is discussing now. Heyman, Paul Heyman and Hangman Page. Heyman grabbed the microphone and said that he did not leave Roman Reigns and betrayed Punk at WrestleMania 41 to side with Rollins, but rather because he knew Breaker and Reed were the future of the business. After rallying off Rollins' previous nicknames and saying he was neither of them, he called Rollins a bum shoulder bitch, interesting line there by Breaker, and declared this is a revision of the future, to say the least. Didn't mind this segment, gave it a B. Not a bad segment whatsoever. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. But so I like the line he gave, Braun Breaker gave Seth Rollins, a bum shoulder bitch. Kind of like that. It's just a badass, no pun intended, a badass Braun Breaker. But I actually didn't mind this segment, and I like the stuff with Pearce and Breaker face to face. Now, see, Braun Breaker came out the World Heavyweight Championship on his show, if you didn't know about that, obviously. Kind of like that, basically stole a title, kind of like AJ Lee did to Becky Lynch with her Women's Intercontinental Championship a couple weeks ago, and she obviously returned on SmackDown. But I minus segment one star, gave it a B, like I said. Nothing like great, nothing bad at all, to say at least. Moving on to the best thing on the show, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Yeah, an AJ Styles and Dragon Lee tag team match was the best thing on the show. It goes to show you how mediocre this Monday Night Raw show was. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee defeated Judgment Days, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough to win the WWE World Tag Team Championships. Give it an A-, man. This is a freaking great match. Very good match. And by the way, the second Reign of Terror with the Judgment Days, Balor, and McDonough for the World Tag Team titles is finally over. That's their second defense of the winning titles in July. Goes to their first defense in July, if you ask me. Fucking ridiculous is the World Tag Team title division on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully, knock on wood, they can have a decent title reign, at least decent. I mean, probably not be like something long term, probably with Styles and probably Dragon Lee, but hopefully, the love of God, at least bring some sort of relevancy and some sort of prestige to the Raw Tag Team division, man. Because these titles can use it. Like, these titles are fucking, but just feel like fucking props. Like, major props at this rate. Like nothing like meaningful has happened to these World Tag Team titles in Monday Raw. Like, get some prestige back, some sort of prestige. Now, it might not be like the SmackDown Tag Team titles, but some sort of prestige back to something for at least the other side of the tag team division, the main roster for Monday Raw. But I love the match here between Styles, Dragon Lee, McDonough, and Balor. I love this match quite a bit. This is a freaking banger, man. Give it an A- for sure, man. Moving on to Dominic Mysterio, defeat the reigning defending WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. Defeats Rusev to retain the WWE Intercontinental Championship. This is a big fat C. What the fuck was the point of this, man? And why the fuck you give another match with Mysterio and Rusev? It lets me do the same result basically did the first time. What are we doing here, man? How are you going to make me care about this for a second time? I didn't even care about the first time either. You can do it the second time, you know, worse match this time. What are we doing here? I didn't say, people are saying like Rusev should beat Dominic Mysterio. I didn't say that. I'm not saying that. But you at least couldn't be something more better than we produced on Monday night last night. This did nothing. Nothing to make me care. Give me a big fat C just for that, man. And on to Maxine Dupree versus Becky Lynch for the reigning defending WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. Versus Becky Lynch for WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship ends in a disqualification. Not as good as the previous match that Lynch and Dupree had. I thought the matches were actually pretty good. Becky Lynch Becky Lynch basically helped Maxine put a freaking match of a lifetime she did for her sake, Maxine Dupree. Definitely not as good as here than the previous match they had, but still I give it a B-. Nothing major happened during this, though. Nothing major happened at all with this. I actually liked the match before the hand. I do like this week's desperation of Lynch's possession. Maybe left there and dastardly stands to keep her title, even if she loses still. She didn't technically lose the title. That's all she cares about is the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So I do like that. But as for the rest of this match, like, this did nothing for me other than that, to say the least. And this gets a B-. I'm going to go rapid fire speed this Raw review because I don't want a long time with that WrestleDream review. Now I'll see you in 2 segments here to say the least. And then I'm done with the video to say for YouTube and all audio platforms to say the least. And this gets a B- with Miss Dupree and Lynch. Nothing really special happened here whatsoever. A B- is your grade. Moving on to the rest of the show is even worse stuff. Stephanie Vaquer, the reigning defending WWE Women's World Champion. Much I love Stephanie, this match did nothing for me. And it's sad to say for Roxanne Perez, who's freaking great too, and Stephanie, who's great too. But Stephanie Vaquer defeats Roxanne Perez, and after the match, Perez and Raquel Rodriguez beat down Vaquer. And so Nikki Bella made the save for Vaquer. Another big fat C. Oh my god, man. What are we doing here? Seriously, what the fuck are we doing here? How am I supposed to care? I love Stephanie, I love Roxanne. Why are you doing this match right now? It's way too soon. I want Roxanne to be the one to dethrone Stephanie. That's the right decision to make. You can have Liv Morgan win the Women's Royal Rumble in 2026. Trust me, that'd be freaking great. That's basically the storyline we all want. As WrestleMania 42 next year is not Stephanie and Rhea for the World title. It can be obviously non-title. We want Liv Morgan challenging Roxanne Perez at that point, be the Women's World Champion, to get everything she had, maybe back with Liv, obviously. Maybe Dominic Mysterio, potentially going back with Liv. I mean, it's babyface couple, so everybody wants to see that, and that should be happening. Liv Morgan gets umpteen for revenge, win the Royal Rumble, and also challenging Roxanne Perez for set Women's World title next year, WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. That's what should be happening. But when you have people like Stephanie, it's freaking great. I'm not saying it's technically Stephanie's fault at all. But Triple H just had everybody beats Roxanne like left and right, left and right. She's taking L after L after L after L. Like Finn Balor taking L after L after L. She's jumping day 2, I would say at least. Like, what the fuck, man? Why we got Billy Sub Roxanne Perez be something incredible when she now hopefully beats Stephanie? That's what should be happening. Not Rhea, not Io. It should be Roxanne Perez and want to beat Stephanie. Then you have Stephanie going on this Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 42, not a title. Then you have Roxanne and Liv on the women's world title side. That's two pretty good matches for your WrestleMania 42 card. For the women's side for the Monday Night Raw. No, we have Roxanne in L after L after L after. I'm not saying I want her to beat Stephanie here. That's not what I'm saying. Why is this match taking place right now? I mean, leads us to at least somewhat less the rest of the year. Maybe even like WrestleMania, Royal Rumble next year in 2026. Have Roxanne and Stephanie face each other for the Women's World title. And then maybe Roxanne can beat Stephanie. There. And Saudi Arabia, no, it's not a great place for Roxanne to win the title for her. But that's not my fault, it's WWE's fault, obviously. But this gets a big fat C. What are we doing here? What are we seriously doing here, Triple H? Looking at you, Hunter. Paul Levesque. A big fat C is your grade. Moving on to a filler Battle Royal main event. Jey Uso wins a Battle Royal in the main event and will face CM Punk at WWE Saturday Night's main event, November 1st, 2025 in Salt Lake City, Utah, for vacated WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Another big fat C. Trust me, I know this is not the original plan now. It's supposed to be Seth Rollins and CM Punk probably at Saturday Night's main event. For this November 1st, obviously. But what the you couldn't come out a better opponent for CM Punk at Saturday Night's main event than Jey fucking Uso. Who I like Jey Uso a lot. But can we please put him back in the tag team with his brother Jimmy and stop having this man go after world titles? It's getting ridiculous at this rate. The one time he won the Royal Rumble, the Jey Uso experiment's gotta be done with that singles wrestler. I am done with this. Have him be in a tag team with Jimmy. That's what he's best at, him and his brother. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Why are we still having Jey Uso in the singles division? And stop having this man challenge for a world title. Because both him and Jimmy can desperately use in the tag team division. Especially on Monday Night Raw side. Like, what are we doing here? Jey Uso and CM Punk. How freaking ridiculous. Two baby faces nonetheless. You couldn't come up with a better heel to win this battle royal than freaking Jey Uso. Dominic Mysterio is the last one eliminated. I'd rather see Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio challenging CM Punk for the world title than having Jey Uso challenge CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday Night's main event. I would rather that happen than this. What are we doing here, man? Can we stop with the Jey Uso experiment in the singles division, man? I am done with it. He had his world title. He has more WrestleMania 41. Good for him. We don't need this anymore, man. I am done with this. This gets a big fat C because of that. And the Battle Royal is freaking boring, too. Don't tell me anything otherwise. I'm done with Battle Royals, too. As your show for Monday Night Raw, October 21st, 2025, gets a B- as well, just like WrestleDream in 2025. That is your WWE Monday Night Raw, October 21st, 2025 review. And Lucas E. Allen Productions on YouTube and all audio platforms, Lucas E. Allen Show. Thank y'all for watching your AEW WrestleDream 2025 and your Monday Night Raw, October 21st, 2025 review. And Lucas E. Allen Productions on YouTube and all audio platforms, and Lucas E. Allen Show. Which are Tuesday, October 22nd, 2025. And hopefully, sooner rather than later, can have your NFL Week 6, Week 8 power rankings on this podcast. Also, your NFL Week 8 preview predictions as well. I don't know if we're doing it in this studio I'm at right now, my friend's house, and it's inside of his office. No, I'm doing that right now. Maybe I will. I got to charge my phone a little bit. Maybe do another recording. And afterwards, I highly doubt I'll do that all this anyways. But until next time, trust me, definitely next time. I mean, wherever I am in Syracuse, New York, just know you'll definitely get a podcast to say at least. Hopefully, at least every other day, if not every day, to say at least. And until next time, I trust definitely next for my peace, nobody. I am out. Take care. Love you all big time, to say the least.